Welcome, everyone, to the Wildly Opinionated News Hour, circa 2026. Happy New Year, Carrie.
Happy New Year.
Look at us go.
I should have had my little party horn.
First show back.
We're back.
I got to tell people, we've had other stuff going on this weekend. We've had some technical difficulties. We are hopefully moving to a platform where you're going to be able to see the clips when we play them. But we couldn't get the tech done this week. So this week we aren't there yet, but hopefully next. And also
We tried really hard.
we're not going to have a Beers with Jesus this week. So we wanted to get back to you with news, talk a little bit about Trump taking over the world. And
And Jesus was just born, just a little baby. He can wait.
so then we'll come back next week with both shows, and maybe hopefully we'll have our new tech running. We can show you clips and it'll be fun. So
That'll be so great.
But we didn't want to miss you this week and at least get out there with a quick news and talk about it a little bit. So hopefully everybody had a great Christmas. You have a good Christmas, Carrie? Good holidays?
Good holidays. It was a different holiday for us. We all kind of stuck together.
Yeah.
Our first Christmas without Steve. And we,
that's tough.
Yeah, we did all right. It was good to have the kids here. They just left. They're back safely. And my mom's here. And yeah.
Nice.
But it was really a beautiful holiday, and New Year's was great.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really fun. How
New
about you?
Year's was so low key. No, the holidays were great. Christmas was great. Seeing family, seeing kids, it was all fabulous. It was great.
Good.
So New Year's was real low key for us. We just didn't do a lot.
What do you normally do you normally do more?
It used to be that my sister would have a party every year, and then last year or the year before she decided to stop that, and she really enjoyed stopping that.
Yeah. She's got a little baby in the house.
Right. Yeah. So, and we had seen the night before anyway. We had kind of our extended family Christmas. So
Oh, cool.
we just chilled. I had a few friends over and we just relaxed and chilled. And even New Year's Day wasn't much. This whole weekend has been just kind of, we're recording on Sunday.
Yeah.
The day after Trump freed Venezuela. So
what?
That was a big deal.
We have people in the streets singing "Free Venezuela."
There was people cheering, all kinds of things.
Not some people. Oh, I do want to say one thing. We did do the polar plunge on New Year's Day.
You know, I saw that. I saw your
It was cold.
I saw it on Facebook.
Woo!
So here's the
super fun. Okay.
Here's the people from Venezuela. Oh, that's loud. That's how excited they are. Who knows? The point is they're excited to be free of Maduro.
I was doing some reading about him. I was doing some reading about him, man. He's been around for a while.
He has.
Since 2013. Hey, yeah, go ahead.
Can you turn your mic around?
Did I mess it up again?
Yeah.
Oh, it fell.
Oh, there you go. You sound so much better now, Carrie.
Is that better?
Look, it's like a brand new show now.
I'm sorry. It fell. I've got to adjust this and tighten up everything.
Okay. You got to tighten up everything. As everybody says at the new year.
We moved everything for Christmas. We used the mic for other things and just, karaoke. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I did some reading about this guy. He's been the president since 2013.
Yeah.
And Chavez was his mentor, apparently.
Hugo Chavez took over. He supposedly won the presidency in 1999. And prior to that, he had been in prison for a couple of years, something of an agitator for communism. He ended up being a dictator. As soon as he took over, he started tearing rights away from people and acting like dictators do. He nationalized the oil industry in Venezuela, which, mind you, it was American companies that by and large built the infrastructure for Venezuelan oil.
Okay.
Chevron, BP, all these different, BP might be British, but anyway, all these different big companies are going down there, Shell and doing all this stuff. And then he nationalized it and just took it all because that's what dictator thugs do.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
They just take things.
Got it.
And then he proceeded to run the country into the dirt, essentially.
Yeah. Right.
I saw some, I'll get to that, but I did a few deep dives on like life for an average citizen in Venezuela. and it's
Oh,
just
nice.
it's
Not
unbelievable.
nice?
No, it's not where you'd want to live, which is why they've had so many people leaving Venezuela.
Mhm.
Um, Cartels are a huge part of Venezuela. Maduro's been, partnering up with Iran, with Russia,
Mhm.
with China. And Trump had told him, Trump had been on him. I guess during the Biden administration, the DOJ had put a warrant out for Maduro for
Mhm.
drug trafficking, narco terrorism, all that stuff.
Right.
And
And that
Trump,
was, yeah, 2020,
yeah, and Trump decided to enforce it. There was a $50
2019.
million reward on his head, but as Rubio said yesterday, I guess we saved that money.
Right? I've met a Venezuelan I've met some people from Venezuela, at least 3 in the past several years, in, like, Uber and Lyft situations as drivers.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, and they talk about how corrupt it is.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Sorry.
"Hey, Ted,
That wasn't on
what
purpose.
what is what is Venezuela gonna do?"
Well, I think this is probably the best representation of what Trump had to say in his news conference
You
Yep.
yesterday.
win? You have a problem with that? You know what you should do? You should sanction me. Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. I guess that means you need to shut up. That's what I'd do if I didn't have no army. I would
Oh shit, my bad. Anyway, that's Dave Chappelle.
Yep, Dave Chappelle,
And but there wasn't
press
much
conference.
different in what Trump had to say about life. He
So
um
you said he spoke yesterday morning,
he
and
did. He had
I
a
missed
press
that.
conference at I have a is this a clip of the press conference? Let's see. It's a short clip.
Plan for the U.S. has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards.
Not with
Did
me.
that weigh on your
Well,
decision
that's when we
making?
had different presidents, but with me, that's not true. With me,
Thank you.
we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot, and we win. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight
Baghdadi.
Hammer. Midnight Hammer was incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. We have essentially peace in the Middle East because of that. If we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So, with me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses. Yeah.
Pretty much right on, right?
Pretty much right on.
The
That's
yeah,
my president, the
it
orange man.
was great. This is a little 40-second montage of Maduro yelling,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm going to tell you what Maduro's saying because he's yelling in whatever the hell they speak, Spanish or
Spanish.
Venezuela. I don't know.
Speak Spanish.
Tell the difference. So I'll tell you what he's saying. This is
Wow, Todd,
Maduro.
that sounded almost racist.
I don't know. I'm not very
No,
good with
they
Spanish.
speak Spanish, yes.
Because they speak like in Brazil, they speak Portuguese,
Right.
and I don't know if
I
Colombia do
feel
they speak Spanish too.
yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
I think they're different dialects maybe.
I have
But
no
anyway,
idea.
yeah.
Anyway, they don't speak English.
Brazil is kind of the Portuguese is speakers are a little bit outliers.
Are they in
Outliers.
South America, like in Chile and Argentina and all that? They all speak Spanish. You think?
I think so.
Or does Argentina have their own language? I have no
No,
idea. These are things I
no.
don't know.
I believe they speak.
We've
They
just
speak.
taken these countries over. I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
god, that's all right. Everyone speaks Spanish here too. So
So I'll tell you what Maduro's saying, but this is a great little clip. He
Mhm.
starts off being real belligerent, telling Trump to come for me.
Venga por
Come
mí.
for me.
Aquí lo esperan
I'm waiting for you here.
No se tarde en llegar.
Don't take too long to arrive, coward.
Oh, Howard.
God bless our troops. God bless
Pretty good. Little thunderstruck for you. So yeah. Anyway, that was the deal. There's tons of clips. What's your feeling about it when you first heard about it? What's your because with everything Trump does, it doesn't matter how wild of a success it is. Maybe I should tell people essentially what happened.
Mhm.
Because I do have the clip of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who is Dan Kane. They call him Raising Kane. and he was in that press conference. He did about a 7-minute summary of how that battle went down. I don't want to
Oh,
play the
cool.
whole thing on here because I don't
Yeah.
think we have time today, but it's
Can you
well worth
summarize?
listening to.
Okay.
Essentially, they go in, they had this thing planned. They went in with, I think he said 150 different aircraft. They had boots on the ground, they had everything, but they went in, they were in Venezuela for approximately 90 minutes. They took out
90 minutes.
grids.
Okay.
They did this. Maduro was in his little fortress house thing,
Mhm.
but he was taken so much by surprise, he didn't even have time to get into his safe room. You know, they got these safe rooms inside the houses with
Oh,
big steel
okay.
doors.
Cool.
And Trump said they had the blowtorches and everything they needed to get him out, but they didn't have to do that. He didn't get in. So they got into Venezuela,
Uh-huh.
black bagged Nicolas Maduro,
Wow.
the so-called president of Venezuela, and
Yes, so-called.
got him out
Self-appointed.
of the country in 88 minutes, less than an hour and a half from when they entered, from when the operation started to when he was on the USS Iwo Jima, headed back to New York. And
Wow.
in that time, there was 0 American casualties. Only 1 aircraft was hit, and that
Amen.
aircraft was still flyable, and they got it back.
Amen. Okay.
I mean, there isn't much that I'll be honest with you, that shocked me a little bit at the
How
capability of the US military. I
like
don't think
how
there's
fast that is? How
just,
just
yeah, that they could do
precise and
that. I mean,
they're
that's
badass.
the closest thing that we've seen to this was when Reagan went in and took out Noriega in Panama
Mm.
back
Okay.
in 80, I don't remember, 88. I can't remember when it was.
Okay.
Around there, mid to late 80s. And because Noriega's a drug runner, same thing as similar case to Maduro.
Mhm.
And Reagan went in and took him out. And but it wasn't by any stretch anything like this. Of course, we didn't have the technological capabilities back then.
Right.
But yeah, Trump went in and
Wow.
he just took care of it, and it was like boom, done.
Okay,
And
so then when did we start bombing stuff and what did we hit?
I don't know what one thing we hit, but again, this is because I can't show you, it doesn't matter. But
Okay.
there was there's a clip of Hugo. There was a huge tomb or like mausoleum. I don't know what you'd call it, built to Hugo Chavez. We hit that.
Oh,
We
dang, like
destroyed that.
a memorial?
Yeah, like up
Whoa.
on this hill, just
The
destroyed.
disrespect.
So, but Trump also said yesterday
That's a
that we're
statement
going to
strike.
take over and we're going to run Venezuela until such time we're going to get the oil fields going. Because the other thing, of course, with communism is that they can't run anything right. The Soviet Union has the same problem. They've got they nationalized all this oil, but they're pumping it at like 10% of what they could get out of the fields. And mind
Mhm.
you, Venezuela has more oil than Saudi Arabia.
Whoa. Okay.
Just in their reserve, their strategic reserve,
Uh-huh.
they had 300, I can't remember. I think it amounted to $14 trillion worth of oil
Good
that Trump
lord.
just took.
Okay. So that explains why critics of Trump are out there saying this is all about the oil and dominance of the Western Hemisphere.
Well, it's certainly about dominance of the Western Hemisphere. And oil is a big thing. I
Sure.
think it was as big of a thing. It's strategic. Because
Well,
there was
right.
Chinese officials there the day before like
Oh.
we did this. In fact, they were still
Oh.
stuck there
What were they
while
doing?
all this was going on. They're
Or
working out
what's the
deals with
speculation?
Maduro
Oh
to get
boy.
oil to help them possibly move some weapons in. Russia was getting it, Iran, the whole thing.
Oh
And
boy.
so
Okay.
it was a problem. It was a threat to the United States and our
Mhm.
hemisphere. And the Monroe Doctrine is clear that the Western Hemisphere is the United States to run. And any aggression anywhere in the Western Hemisphere we take as aggression against us, essentially what the Monroe Doctrine is.
Okay. So,
And so we took that over strategically, but we also sent a message to Xi in China, to
yeah.
Iran, to Russia, to anybody out there that's our enemies.
Yeah.
This is what we did to Maduro. How
Mhm.
fast do you think we can have you?
Right.
There's not a
And then
military on earth that can keep up with us.
right, I'm sure their egos, think otherwise, but I still think it's an effective, attempt at that statement. So, Todd, I was going to ask you, I think you just answered it. I was going to say, who's taking over?
We
You're
are.
saying that we are. I have uncomfortable thoughts about that.
Yeah, tell me what they are. Probably
Well,
other people
because
do too. You can
yeah.
represent the rest of our audience.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say I love Trump. I believe that he's always looking out for our best interests, but I just think right now this is great for the Venezuelan people. They've been ruled by a corrupt government.
Right.
But well, and we disagree in principle with their whole governmental system.
Mhm.
But I just think there's so much to do here.
Yeah.
We haven't fixed our own problems yet. Why are you taking on a whole other country that's far away? Granted,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
just
I'll
think
tell you what I
fix our
think.
stuff. But it did sound urgent, but the taking over part doesn't sound urgent to me.
Well,
Okay, go.
here's what I think. I think that what you're going to find is
Mhm.
that this takeover of Venezuela is necessary. Steve Dace, you know who he is. We've talked about him. He has a podcast, local show, or not a local show, a nationwide show on the
Mhm.
Blaze.
Right.
And I heard him say this. I listened to his show, and he said, "Remember, I predicted to Glenn Beck a few weeks ago the U.S. would effectively trade Venezuela for Taiwan in 2026.
Mm.
It's going down even sooner than I thought. We are locking up our hemisphere, and I think China will respond by locking down theirs. Tai- Taiwan ranks at the top of with microchips, while
Oh, right.
Venezuela is at the top with crude oil. Both
Okay.
sides would also then have equal leverage for equitable trade, with each needing both for their economies to function, especially China if Iran also falls, which leaves less incentive for us to fight a world war over Taiwan." What do you
Okay.
think of that?
So it's a it's leverage. It's leverage so that we don't have to
Yeah.
go defend Taiwan.
Well, I think what we've seen and what so many people have such a gut reaction against, and they feel like Trump ran against being,
Yes.
was the Bush kind of neocon globalist,
Right.
where we'd go in and we'd nation build. But the problem is that what we would do is we would go in and we didn't take over the countries. If you remember, that was one of Trump's bitches. He'd be like, "Why don't we just take Iraq's oil?" Right? And a
Yeah.
lot of people thought that. Like, why
Mhm.
don't we? What are we doing? Why are we expending our blood and treasure
Mhm.
and not getting anything out of it?
Yeah.
Well, I think that this is what you're seeing American expansion and empire building with Trump. And the way that you build an empire is that you colonize countries, but the way that you do it is you make life better for them and for your own people. And you
Okay.
do it. Venezuela has an amazing amount, not just of oil, but of gold, of all kinds of natural
Mhm.
resources.
Oh, yeah. I
And
mean, Venezuela used to be like a lush, prosperous nation.
right. So people hear that colonization word and they hear that empire word
Yeah.
and they feel it's just gotten a real bad rap
It
with
has.
us
That's my
lately.
reaction to both those words when you said
Right.
that. Yep.
But if you think about the British
Makes me think
Empire,
imperialism. Yeah.
well, it kind of is, but if you think
Yep.
about the British Empire, every single country that they colonized
Yeah.
was far better off both during their colonization and after their colonization.
Right. It's kinda like a
Colonization
transition.
brings an improvement of civilization. It brings greater civilization to places with less. Same thing that the American colonies did with the Indians. They I know they were just a bunch of peaceful, loving people, but
Right.
we bring civilization. We make life better. I want to find where I have that sorry. Hugo
That's okay.
Chavez. I wanted to find I did just a little deep dive on what's going on in like what's life for
Mhm.
the average citizen, and I can't find it now. Hold on.
Okay.
So but one of the things was the average Venezuela. What I was comparing is I was looking at the U.S. has, I think we have 7 territories that have like people there. You know what I mean? We have other territories, but they're like islands and stuff that aren't really
Like the
inhabited.
Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico.
Virgin Islands are U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Guam.
Guam, that's right.
There's some others. I can't remember exactly what they are.
Okay.
And by and large, all of these territories. So what I did is I looked up life for the average Venezuelan under Nicolas Maduro, and I looked up life for citizens in U.S. territories. The lowest income U.S. territory is Puerto Rico, with a median income of somewhere around maybe 28,000, 30,000 a year.
Okay.
Not that much.
Yeah.
For a median income. But that's but still they have, they have rights that U.S. citizens have, and they have us protecting them and the whole thing. So it's not that bad. You go to Guam, you go to the Virgin Islands, some of those, then you get back up closer to our median income. Well, when you go to Venezuela, their median income was $24 a year. By and large, they were missing meals. The inflation in Venezuela was around 300%.
Damn.
He just ruined everything. The political repression was unbelievable. He killed all his political opponents, of course. There's been an unbelievable amount of emigration out of Venezuela.
Right.
People are leaving. And that's not just the ones that he's sending over, the thugs when they're emptying their prisons that Trump's talking about.
Yeah.
That's happening too. But even beyond that, for the last 20 years, well, ever since Chavez, so that's 25, people have been fleeing. They've been fleeing because they get their businesses taken and their families are killed. Well, all the things that go along with communist dictator type countries.
They lose everything.
Right. And so they leave. A lot of them have come to America. A lot of them have gone other places. The thing is, we've got way too many both legal and illegal immigrants in the United States.
Yeah.
Deportations work, but they're not very efficient. If you think about it, it's way easier to get people to it's easier on the country if you can get people to self-deport. Now, we've done that with our deportations out of kind of fear. But there's another way that you can get people to move back, and it's not out of fear. It's out of taking over the country and turning the country around, making the country a safe place for their family. This is their home. These are where these people came from.
Right. Like you're saying we want to make a safe,
put them on the dollar, the petrodollar.
Productive path, like go home and we're going to make sure that it's okay and you're able to fix it up again.
And maybe eventually we give it back, that once we're confident that everything's in place and that we've got good, but still we're going to keep an eye on things. Because, and I think really this is the answer, is that we treat them as something of a territory. I think we're going to have to do the same thing with Colombia. I think we're going to have to do the same thing with Mexico.
I wonder what the process, sorry, go ahead. I won't interrupt.
But all of that is going to make it attractive for these people to move back to their home countries and help us. We can even do it with tax incentives. We can do it with a lot of things. We can say, listen, if you're willing to move back and help us rebuild Venezuela, we're willing to do this. All of those things are so much more efficient and so much easier than trying to rip people out of your country.
Right.
But they all have to work together.
It's more positive. It's more
You know what I'm saying? So I really think there has to be a mind shift back to colonialization, because I think it's good. It can be good for everyone. You know what I mean?
I wonder what that process is.
Well, you saw it with Venezuela.
Well, no, not the process of, because people are like, you can't start a war without congressional approval. It's like, well, I don't think that's really what he just did. It's kind of
much of a war.
My first impression was like, what's he doing? But yeah, now that I know a little bit more, like most people, you see something on the news and
well, Congress has abdicated their roles. Congress, they don't want to pass laws. They don't want to hold people accountable. Congress doesn't want to do anything except grift and get 300% better stock returns than everybody else.
But I'm
That's
certain
all that Congress wants to do.
It's quite a gig. I just wonder what that process is, because Congress has to be involved in declaring whatever.
Well, they would have to be involved in setting up territories and things like that for sure.
Right.
But the problem that Congress has, and you're getting this, we have three theoretically co-equal branches of government. Well, Congress, by abdicating their role, by just not doing it and choosing not to do this and choosing not to do this and
And shutting
choosing not
down.
to do this,
Mhm.
what they do is they make space, and then on one side, the judiciary comes in and takes over parts of
Mhm.
Congress's role, and on the other side, the executive does the same thing. So both of them end up squeezing because a vacuum, nature abhors a vacuum, right? Something's going to fill that in.
Yep.
I mean, now the judicial system's trying to take over the executive function and say where we can. So I think that part of that, the other thing that's going on is that Maduro was intimately involved with
Mhm.
stealing elections, with the 2020 elections. Smartmatic voting machines were made in Venezuela. I'm telling you, this guy has the goods on everybody, and
Oh,
we have
wait,
this guy
he was
alive.
involved in our voting machines?
Yes.
That's right, those ones I can't Dominion or something?
Dominion and Smartmatic
Dominion
and all the
machines.
different
Yep,
things.
yep.
I'm telling you that he was involved with Iran, with China, with all of them in interfering with our elections, and he has the goods. I think that's why, because Trump gave him a lot of options. They actually thought they
Mhm.
were going to get him to surrender, and they were going to let him go into exile. They were going to do a lot of things. My guess is that Maduro felt like, but my guess is, Trump hasn't
Yeah.
said this, whatever it was going to be, he was going to have to come clean and rat out everybody else,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
That's what we
Yep.
do, just like with organized crime, right? You get
Sure.
one of them and
Yep.
you start, twisting on them until they sing,
Yep.
right? And then you start getting the rest, and you'll cut them a deal if they'll sing. I still
Mhm.
think that's going to happen. But I think the reason he didn't take the deal for exile is because he realized that once he sang like that it didn't matter where he was. He probably wasn't
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
safe from China or Russia or any of them.
Right. Well, I'm wondering how safe he is in New York.
Well, it's questionable, but
Mhm.
he may be safer in oddly, he might be safer in the United States than anywhere.
Right.
And I have
Is his wife with him also, did you say?
yes, they got them both. They snagged them both. So there's a bunch of things going on with this Venezuela thing. I also think Trump's setting up the next dominoes to do the same thing with Colombia and eventually Mexico, because they're both narco
Wow.
states. They're both controlled by cartels.
Wow.
And I have thought for so long, if we're going to waste blood and treasure, and if we're going to be this activist military and all these things, why don't
Mhm.
we do it in our own hemisphere?
Right. I understand what you're
Why do
saying.
we let Mexico become just a shithole narco country that's
Mhm.
not safe for anybody? It's not safe for their citizens. Their president's
Mhm.
just a puppet for the cartels. I
Yeah,
don't.
I was gonna say I don't hear a lot about, corruption in Mexican government, but are they just weak?
Oh, she's
It's
installed
they're
basically
just
by the
they're
cartels.
just overrun with crime.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, let me pause for 1 second.
sure. Can I grab coffee?
Yep. Sorry about that, guys. My daughters always bother me. No, they're
It's about
good.
church. I know, we're, like, between church right now.
We are. Look at us go. Carrie already went, and I'm going in a little bit. So,
Yep.
but
Okay.
at any rate, that's kind of where I think that's where I kind of see everything going on this. I think it's a lot bigger move. I think that Trump is moving. I understand we got a lot to fix here,
Mhm.
but I think what people don't
We
realize is
really do.
stolen elections, all these things. Maduro's a key to some of that too. That there's a lot of these things are interconnected because it's
Okay.
such a globalist threat.
Yeah.
And kind of
It's all a
conspiracy, I
web
guess.
that yeah.
Whatever, yeah.
Wow. Well,
So that's where I think we're going. And I think that when you have a country that has $38 trillion in debt, mind you, most of, I think, after watching all of this Somali fraud stuff, and I don't even think we've hit the tip of the iceberg, I wonder, is 30 trillion of that fraud that we've been paying for?
right.
Now I feel a little bit better if we nab 14 trillion in oil from Venezuela and say, okay, well, that's something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So so there you go. There's my diatribe. Now, what do you
there you
think of
go.
of all that? Now that I've laid out for you what I think is Trump is kind of working on and trying to get his
Well,
arms around.
it makes yeah, I mean, I don't believe that he's just off the cuff doing unpredictable things because of, cognitive decline and power hungriness or whatever. I don't think that that's Trump's style. So, but I do like an explanation sometimes. So that overview helps me say, okay, I can believe blindly that he has a purpose
Yeah.
because I believe in what he stands for, but it's still nice to hear some concrete speculation, if I can make that oxymoron.
Yeah.
No, it's just nice to hear like, okay, that makes sense.
This is what I
Again,
think
like
is going
taking
on.
yeah, like, gosh, taking on I just think I've said before that one of our issues as a country, one of our issues of governing smoothly, one of our challenges is just how big we are. So I think, you talk about taking on Venezuela, taking on Colombia and
Mhm.
Mexico. I just think I long term, I think that's
Well, who
a
else
bad
can do
idea.
it?
It's no one, but it's also unmanageable. It's just
Well,
unmanageable.
I don't know.
But
China's managing probably more people than all of those countries, even with the US put together and
yeah,
combined.
but it's a dictatorship. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
if
I
you're like,
agree.
I'm calling all the shots, you can rule the whole world.
But
But
England
that
did a
is a
pre England did a pretty good job for a long time with the English Empire. And
yeah,
you could argue that they
yeah,
brought Christianity to the far corners of the earth. You know what I mean? That they did a lot of good. And now listen, it wasn't all good. There's problems with it. We had the transatlantic slave trade. To be fair, there was slave trade for all through human history before that.
right.
But the point is, I just don't think I'm not saying that there haven't been problems with colonization and with
Mhm.
empire building. But if you look at Alexander the Great, yeah, there was problems in how he went about some of it. But for 300 years, you had an empire that became the foundation of Western civilization, that brought a common language, that enabled trade across the entire known world at the time, that
Right.
that you had massive gains in mathematics and science because of what he did. And
Mhm.
he became the foundation for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is the foundation for the English Empire and for us.
Yeah,
So
okay. That's
I just
fair.
think that it got a bad rap, and I think, like I say, whether it's territories, whether you phase them out or whatever, I think there's something to the fact that we're the only ones who can, and maybe it's time to step up and to make sure that we can recoup some money on it. I mean, that's
Right.
part of being an empire, is that we're going to make some money on you.
Well, yeah, and we need to.
But in
I mean,
addition,
we're in
your
trouble.
country's gonna be so much better.
Mhm.
We're gonna raise, this tide. You're not gonna have a $24 median income in Venezuela if the United States is taking it over.
And are you speaking literally when you say that?
Yes, literally.
The median income.
It's $24 a year. Maybe it's a month. Maybe it's a month. I can't remember, but anyway, it's not much, whatever it is.
Even if it's a week, that's insanity.
It's not a week. I know that. I think it's a year. It's some ridiculous thing. You would think nobody can live like that, and by and large, they're not. They skip meals and they do whatever
Awful.
you can't provide. I mean, they're not doing anything that
Yeah,
a government was set up to do
right.
for its people, which is keep them safe and secure, enable them to
Yeah.
rise, enable a middle class to rise. They've torched all of that.
Yep.
So we can come in and we can, and
Mhm.
if we can do that across central and a fair amount of the northern part of South America, then
Mhm.
we've got Argentina, El Salvador. A lot of these countries are already allying with us, and you're going to have what amounts to an American hemisphere, whether it's through American territories and some
Yeah.
allies,
Mhm.
whatever it is, but it's going to be a group. I think the one that's kind of an outlier right now is Brazil, but that's okay. Brazil,
I was
they
gonna say
edged toward socialism.
Brazil's had some political,
Yeah.
um, disruption in the last couple years, right?
Yeah. They tried to put their president in jail who was friends with Trump, and they stole an election
Mm.
there. And
Oh,
so,
shoot. Okay.
but my guess is that
Mhm.
Brazil's kind of a bigger nut to crack, and that Trump, my guess would be America has to take them off the weakest at a time
Sure. Oh,
and
yeah.
kind of get something together and get something that looks like this will work.
Right, and protect us in the meantime.
Right.
That's kind of what you have pointed out is how this protects us. Obviously, the drugs, I had forgotten about the, potential involvement of China and Russia there.
Hmm. Cuba.
So,
I think you'll probably see us.
uh,
They asked Trump about Colombia. He said, "You said that the Colombian president should watch his ass," and he said, "I stand by that."
damn, you know?
So you
Gotta
got
love the balls
Colombia.
on Trump.
I think Mexico's gonna be the same thing. I have a feeling we may end up doing it with Cuba. And why not? Why not if we can make our debt manageable, if we can enable a place for the people who have come here to go back to, all the, you know, the Cubans. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Cuban Americans, but their home was Cuba. Probably they would like, some of them at least would like to go back. You know what I mean? And build
Well,
businesses and
if they
have
can have a
stable
life,
economies.
yeah, if they can have a life like they have here, sure.
Like an Americanized Cuba, an Americanized Venezuela, an Americanized Colombia, an Americanized Mexico. All that's going to do is provide a place for us to send a bunch of people to help us build these economies up and to make our hemisphere the strongest hemisphere in the world.
There you go.
Because I think Europe's fallen.
Oh gosh.
Europe's going to fall. They're already on their way to being majority Muslim, and I don't think they're going to have the political will to pull it back.
That reminds me, I was going to ask you, do you think that we will see an insurgence, if that's the right word, of Europeans, Western Europeans coming here? Like fleeing,
Maybe,
if you
yeah,
will.
it's possible. I mean, it depends if we let them in. I think that we need an
Right.
immigration moratorium for, but if we're going to let them in, I'd prefer to let white Europeans in.
Well, I was going to say, I mean,
But they don't let you say, we'll just let white Europeans in is the problem.
I know, but I was going to say, I imagine their pleas to come. I just wondered if you think we'll see that.
I don't know. I don't know if we'll let them or not, is the truth. I just
Wow.
don't. I think that
Tough.
it's Europe's problem, and I think we're going to let Europe deal with it, is what I think.
Oh,
I think Europe will be lost. It'll be lost to the Muslims by and large. I don't mean every country necessarily right
I
away or
know,
anything,
but
but
it's tough.
that's
It's
just where
really
it's
tough.
going. And they're
Yeah.
farther along than us, and I don't think they can pull it back. I think we can pull it back, but I think we have to do some of the things we're talking. We still have to kick
Yeah.
up deportations and all those things.
Right.
But if we're making attractive places for people to go,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to find, like I've talked about all along, supply and demand. All of these things are going to be, and where they're going, the GDPs that they're building are still going to help us because they'd be American territories. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
going to help them. They can get a sweet deal on taxes for a while because they're going and they're helping us build up these places. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I just,
So, would Puerto Rico gets representation in
they don't get
in
Senate seats, but
they
they
don't get
do
Senate
vote
seats, but
in presidential elections.
okay.
I don't know if they have I don't think that they have
Do they
a
get representation in the House?
don't know. That's a good question.
I'm gonna
You
look
might have
that
to
up.
look that up. I know they don't have senators, and I wouldn't be for making a bunch more states. I would be for making territories and,
Yeah.
um, and making life better for them. I just think, I think we can do that, and we should. We have a responsibility to rule and reign, even as a Christian country, well, to make life better for people. Like,
Excuse
we
me.
shouldn't have the country just south of our border that has entire towns where they pile up the heads of the enemies that they don't like. Like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
savagery that we shouldn't accept in our hemisphere.
Right.
When we can change it, and we can. So that is a little bit of a switch from the anti-neocon nation building. But again, when you look at what they did, they never tried to take everything they did, I think, was wrong because they're trying to get Iraq to govern themselves. They're trying to get Afghanistan to govern themselves, and these countries aren't set up for it. These countries
Yeah.
aren't America circa 1776. They're not the same kind of people. They haven't had the same kinds of experiences, and
Yeah.
they're just not ready for that. Whereas we can run it, and we can show them, and we can build prosperous, thriving Western countries
Mm-hmm.
in these places. And I just
Interesting.
don't see the downside. I mean,
Okay.
listen, there could be a lot of growing pains. There could be a lot of things that could happen along the way, but
Yeah.
we're going to have all that anyway.
And we will, but also, do we have the time? Does Trump have the time for this?
Well, I don't. I think Trump's getting things started. I don't think that Trump necessarily believes that in the next, but by 2028 he's going to have it all done. But I think he wants a legacy for the golden age of America, and
Mm-hmm.
he wants J.D. Vance or whoever to be able to pick up the mantle and keep trucking.
I mean, I look at Queen Elizabeth during that empire building, and she was improving the lives of,
Yeah.
what in Africa, there was quite a bit of British territory in Africa, for example.
India was huge.
India.
Pakistan.
So I
Yeah.
look at that and I think she ruled like her whole life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was happening probably over decades when she was young.
Yeah.
If The Crown is accurate, the show.
The Crown.
I loved that show. That was so
I
good.
like that show too, believe it or not. I really enjoyed that show.
It was very
I
good.
especially enjoyed the earlier parts of it that were more historical. Once they
was
got
so
to the
good.
Charles and Diana part, it was like, eh.
I
But that was
mean,
kind of recent, you know.
yeah, you were like, you feel like you've heard enough about it. I still learned some stuff. It was
I did
really good.
too. I
Yeah.
didn't care as much about all the drama then.
But the
I
old
cared
stuff,
more
I didn't
about the old
realize.
drama that I didn't know about.
Well, I didn't realize, like, how she came into power, and
I didn't know
that
much about
was wild.
Prince Margaret. There's a lot of things I
Right.
learned from that show that I
It was
didn't.
so good.
Yeah, I
But
just
anyway, she had a lot of time. She had her whole life, and I just wonder, anyway, so are we talking about anything else?
Anything else you want to talk about,
Well,
Carrie?
I just wanna say, I have a New Year's resolution
Uh-oh.
I need to share, and it's really a business plan for a whole chain of daycares. You
The
wanna know if you
problem
want
is your
in.
head is entirely too symmetrical to make any money at daycares in the United
Oh, no.
States.
Oh my gosh. I just wonder if you want in on the ground floor of a daycare chain.
I tell you what, the funniest thing is, well, we were gonna do this show yesterday, and then we got caught up in technical snafus trying our new our new platform, which we will
Man,
get to work, but
we'll
we
get there.
weren't quite there yet. And so, but what's funny is the day before I had spent hours and I had stuff all on this Somalian fraud in daycare, and
Yeah.
then I woke up at 5 in the morning to Trump taking Venezuela and taking Maduro, and I was like,
You're like, "How much news can we cover?"
I know, that's kinda what I felt like. Mondami's out there, the new
Oh my gosh.
socialist mayor of New York.
Yep.
And even a little bit of holiday stuff. This is just a little throwback to some Brett Baer. You remember Brett Baer rapping? Have you seen this video?
I don't remember that.
He's the news anchor at Fox News.
Oh, that's funny.
It's so great.
That's
But anyway, I wanted to
hilarious.
play it again. I was hoping we'd have clips up, but we don't quite yet.
Visuals.
We'll get there.
Save that one. I think we need to show that one when we have our
It'll be
visuals.
good. So yeah, I do have a lot of daycare fraud and all that stuff. I mean, clips on it, a lot of people talking about it. This is Mondami. Well, Mondami is he's the communist who just took over as New York mayor.
Yep. New York
Socialist,
City.
essentially.
Yep.
Here's a quick little clip of him talking about the warmth of collectivism.
We will draw this city closer together. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our campaign demonstrated that the people of New York yearn for solidarity, then let this government foster it. Because no matter what you eat, how you pray, or where you come from, the words that most define us are the two we all share: New Yorkers.
So he's not all about rugged individualism, which I
No.
thought that was kind of funny with him coming off with the warmth of collectivism versus rugged individualism. And then
Yeah.
right on the like 2 days after that, Trump pulling off this thing, this raid in Venezuela. Just like,
Yeah.
that's American rugged individualism right there.
So I was laughing at, the Babylon Bee,
Mm-hmm.
like the funny headlines. They had a great one yesterday. It says, "The Democrats are confused why Venezuelans cheering downfall of nice, warm collectivism."
It's exactly true. It's just
I
like,
know. It's so great. And it's got like all the Venezuelan flags and it's Babylon Bee is so funny. They must have a blast.
Did you see Erica Kirk? This was they had this America Fest or something. It's been probably 2, 3, 4 weeks ago,
I
and
haven't seen much of her.
she
Haven't seen
came
much of
out
her.
to It's this typical like pyrotechnics spraying up and like the
Sure.
glittery suit and the whole
That's
thing.
cool.
And people were like, people giving her a lot of crap for it, right?
Oh, okay.
As a grieving widow. Like there's
Okay.
all these memes going around.
Oh
The
my
memes are
gosh.
hilarious.
That's
They'll
oh
be like,
no.
a lot of widows might take a few months, and then there's Erica Kirk, she'll be like spinning around on a circus trapeze, or
Oh
she'll be
my
like
god.
Beyonce coming out or sprinting out, you know what I mean? There's
Is that an
just
exaggeration or was she spinning on something?
no, she wasn't. That was an example.
Okay,
But
okay.
but
That's
the point is that a lot of people have had an issue with it. Do you know who Tim Dillon is? He's a
no.
comic who also has he has a podcast. He's on Rogan sometimes.
Okay.
And he's talking
Is he
about
like a
this.
Christian guy?
No, I wouldn't say that. I
Okay,
don't
no.
think.
Then I don't know who it is, no.
But he's talking about TPUSA and Erica Kirk and just how the whole thing
Through a
feels.
stream,
And I thought it was kind of interesting. Let's
Okay.
hear what he has to say.
this turning point kind of abomination that the right wing of this country has turned into like a bad reality show. And it's all of the fault of everyone, by the way. It's the fault of everyone speaking and everyone attending and there's nobody that gets everything about this is weird and uncomfortable for everyone. And I'm not saying she killed her husband or knew about it or whatever.
Can't believe you said that.
I'm saying the
Well,
guy got
Candace.
shot 3 months ago, and she walks out to a pyrotechnic display, and then she goes, "We're going to elect J.D. Vance." It's weird that that's where her head is at. It's difficult for many people to relate to. It's not relatable for people that talked about how Hollywood isn't relatable and Hollywood is out of touch. This looks a lot like Hollywood to most people. And to go out through a stream of fireworks and sparklers and stand there in a glittering pantsuit and talk about electing J.D. Vance 3 months after your husband was killed, many people feel that there is something off about that. And we're starting to see that political people are the exact same thing as the Hollywood elites that they all love to dunk on. And we all look at this. This is Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the Kamala rally.
Maybe
this
not
is
exactly.
deeply
Not quite,
unsettling to a lot of people. It feels like you're being played. You feel it. It seems off. You feel like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money.
What do you think?
I am gonna agree
Have
with
you seen you've seen some of it? I mean, you
I
kind of
have
know.
not, but I
Oh,
could
haven't
pick
you?
I
She came
haven't.
out with Nicki Minaj too. That was and Nicki Minaj was supporting Trump and people, you know, whatever.
So, what was the event? The
It
event
was some
was
big,
like
huge. I think it was called America Fest.
was it like a New Year? Was this
No,
like
it
the New
wasn't a New
Year's Eve
Year's
thing?
thing. No, this happened 3 weeks earlier at least. Big
Okay.
gathering in Arizona, and it was all about TPUSA, and you know they had all the
Okay.
speakers and stuff. Whatever.
I don't know. The timing of it the timing of it is pretty weird.
Yeah.
For her to be involved. Also, I'm with him. I'm with Tim. Did you say Tim Dillon?
Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon.
Yes.
I looked him up. I don't recognize his face. I'm with him on the fact that it just seems like not relatable. Like what do you have to do right now in your life? What do you have to do with the next presidential election and or JD Vance? Like,
I mean that to be fair, that was what Charlie Kirk was. Like Charlie Kirk was a political entertainment kind of right-wing animal,
yeah, yeah,
and he created this institution TPUSA for young
right.
people to be that exactly
But he
to
was
m-
very
to
relatable.
to mix up religion, politics, the whole thing into a big right-wing stew, and to turn out the vote for Trump to turn younger voters into conservatives.
Right. Well, right before an election.
Yeah.
And
Well, he did a lot of it.
He didn't talk about election goals every day.
No, but she has taken over now. I don't know.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah. What do you think? That's
I'm
my
not
thought.
like, it seems weird to me. The whole Erica Kirk thing, ever since we saw that video with the fake hands in the casket and the whole thing,
Yeah.
that
What is that?
seemed weird. But at the same time, like, Candace Owens seems completely off her rocker to me. So
I know.
I don't have a
Candace,
lot of,
sorry, girl, you lost me.
I don't have much, like, I'm not feeling Candace at all
Right.
on any of that. So as far as, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe people do grieve differently, and maybe this is to be a rock star and take over. It does seem weird. It seems weird to those of us normal people from the outside looking in, and he's right. It does have a Hollywood feel to it. I don't know if that's necessarily bad. I don't know what to do. I mean, it just is her. It's what it is right now. I don't know.
What's funny is Charlie Kirk was on camera 24/7.
Yeah.
And he did not feel showy or Hollywood to me at all.
There's probably few people that can pull off authenticity in that kind of a stage like Charlie could.
Even when he dressed in a suit and a tie and he was on a TPUSA stage for an event and he was speaking, he still just seemed like a regular person.
Yeah. I don't think Erica can pull that off like he could.
No, she's not like that. So I'm trying not to hold her
But
to
again,
the
I don't
same
know
standard.
that many people could.
Right.
He was a special guy when it comes to that.
So,
and I don't know that
I don't know.
they're doing their best, but yeah, it was one of those things that I was just like, I don't know.
My mom and I were just talking also about how working plays a role in your distraction, like to grieve. Like
Yeah.
if I like she worked, she didn't retire till a year after she lost Floyd. So,
Okay.
and she said that year of working saved her.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, there are days I go to work and I just dive in and I don't think about anything other than what I'm doing, and it's very healthy. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking my job isn't on a stage in front of people
You don't
with a
go through
microphone.
pyrotechnics on your way in the door?
Pyrotechnics.
Like the glittering suit and Nicki Minaj on your side?
I mean, maybe I need to really step up my
Your
work attire. I don't
grieving
know.
widow game.
But anyway, so I just think maybe this is her throwing herself into her work, and
Yeah.
it's just her work looks very different than most people's. It was my point of that.
Possible. I'm not.
But
I have.
it's a little.
I think it's weird.
It's
But I'll be
weird.
honest with you. I always thought Charlie was a little weird, and the whole TPUSA thing, a little weird. I admit that it's effective. It's not that.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
I'm not an institution
It's
guy.
weird
I
'cause there's nothing
despise
like
them
it.
all. Like, everything I want to do is just tear down institutions, not build them up. So I'm just a different cat when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And so that's okay. That I accept.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying I understand that maybe we
Mhm.
need some institutions. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But
I
his
want to
words
get some more.
off
Well, I
his
guess.
words of off and unrelatable, I think, are spot on.
Yeah, I kind of thought he did a
Yeah.
good job with that. One other quick
So
thing, Scott Adams. You remember him, Dilbert,
yes.
creator?
I've started following his coffees on YouTube.
He's been struggling, and he just came out
Yeah.
a day or two ago and said that the cancer's it was all bad news. He's probably dying within the month. So
Shoot.
it's sad. Just to let people know. This is just quick at the end here, a little Scott
Yeah.
Adams. This is from 2015. He's explaining what he called Trump's linguistic kill shot back in the day.
Okay.
It's a short little one that I thought, just because it's Scott Adams,
Yeah.
we love Scott Adams.
People in the world,
Yeah.
living people, who are masters of persuasion. They've got a linguistic gift for influencing people, and they're using actual technique. What I saw in Trump was someone who was highly trained, and that a lot of the things that the media were reporting as sort of random insults and bluster and just Trump being Trump looked to me like a lot of deep technique that I recognize from the fields of hypnosis and persuasion. So let me give you a few examples of the
Don't say
technique that
hypnosis.
Trump uses. There's something that I
He's
call the linguistic kill.
Scott Adams, that's one of his specialties. Is he's a hypnotist and he's a specialist in persuasion. So a lot of his books he writes from that angle.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's coming at it with that.
Shot. And what that is a engineered set of
a linguistic kill shot. Sorry, guys, I messed it up.
Words that essentially changes an argument or ends it so decisively, I call it a kill shot. So one of the ones that Donald Trump used was when he referred to Jeb Bush being a low-energy guy.
Very, very low energy. So low energy that every time you watch him, you fall asleep.
Yeah, you cannot take
more energy tonight. I like that.
Or when he referred to Carly Fiorina as a robot.
Like a robot. Ba, 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 like a robot.
Or Carson as nice.
Ben is a nice man.
He's actually a really nice guy.
All of these have the same quality. They're words you haven't heard in the political realm before, so they're sort of virginal words that he can use the way he wants. They don't have a lot of baggage with them, but they also perfectly fit what you are already thinking about these people. They weren't random insults, and once you hear it, you can never get it out of your mind. That's how powerful.
Pretty good, right?
That is good.
I think he's right. I think Trump is a master at that. People always think, oh, he's just a buffoon. He just this. It's just a bunch of insults. He's using it all, you know?
He is.
So.
Wow. Oh,
sad news about Scott Adams. We'll have some more clips, over the next weeks because I really like Scott Adams. I think he's got a lot of wisdom and he's got good takes on things. And we're praying for him. I mean, God can turn things around, but it looks like the medical field has done all it can. So anything else from here, pray for him, and that's about all you can do, I think.
Yeah.
So. Anyway.
So you're off?
Yeah, but I probably got to get going. I got to make it to church, guys. Holy cow!
Yeah, he's got a confrontation plan.
My daughter's leading worship today, so I got to go see.
Oh, that's so nice. Good. I hope it goes great.
Cause
awesome.
a little bit more excitement if I can.
Yes. Well, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to everyone. Listen, we're not going to have Beers with Jesus this week, but we will be back to normal next week. So we'll be back to the Wildly Opinionated News Hour and Beers with Jesus. Well, hopefully we're new and improved, right? Check out toddsworld.net. Merch is there, everything. And subscribe to us. Send clips to people. We're a little shorter today. That's just kind of what we ran into this week, but we wanted to get back and talk to you about Erica Kirk. No.
About pyrotechnic grieving.
Only Hugo Chavez could have come. He kind of did come out to pyrotechnics.
He did. He did. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Well, Carrie, I'm glad you had a great holiday. Everybody out there, I hope that you had a great holiday too. And and one more thing. We have a listener, friend of mine named Mike, lives up here in Allendale. His mom just passed away right over the holidays from a 5-month battle with cervical cancer. So shout out to Mike, and his mom was a great woman. She made great pretzels. She was at some gigs where Lauren was at. It was just great family. And so
did you and Will talk about her before?
No, not her, I don't think. I don't think Will knew her. But ananyway, she's a sad thing, just kind of comes out of the blue, and there's been too much of that lately. So our thoughts and prayers are with Mike and his family. So all right, guys, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back next week with both shows, and hopefully you can see the clips. Hopefully we're going to turn a new page.
Woohoo!
Thanks for joining me, Carrie. I'll catch you next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.